So as you know, there are very different styles, not by name or by lineage necessarily, but from the idea of applications of Kobudo. So it's not that the one method is better than the other, but I would say they're complementary. And you might want to look and compare how they do it differently. For instance, there are so many kata which are very, very similar. Not 100% the same, but very, very similar. For instance, you could look at Shishinokun of Motoyashi Kobudo, which you see as Shishinokun Dai in entire lineage, and which you see as in Ryokonkai as well, and they're all very similar. It's the same embusem basically, but there are little differences. For instance, at the end of Shishinokun Dai, some they do this here. You know, you might have seen this. So they support this here by the foot, which may help you under certain circumstances. So these are tactical considerations which these schools are based upon. So when you have this three division, you obviously not take advantage of the length of the bow, right? Or let's say not in the basic behavior. They do it as well, but in the basic behavior you have a 3-3 partition, 3/3. And when you compare it to the more longer schools that really try to take the advantage of the length of the bow, make long strikes or make things like this, right? Big movements like striking kind of stuff. So there's an immediately visible difference between the assumptions they make, right? So in the Taira lineage, you have often, at least I think, I'm not sure if this is correct, but you have a more close ma'ai, a combative distance. So often you have maybe contact to the bow, and often you would lead it. You have a contact and you would lead it, and you would more like press. Therefore, like for instance, if you take the Kihon I did before, you would block, and maybe then you would just sidestep and counter here to the attacking hand, which you can do very easily with this kind of movement, right? But because you're more close. But of course, it's a dangerous combative distance. It's very dangerous because all the time you're within the reach of the other guy, whatever he has in hand. And even with the wooden machete or real machete, the length that the guy can achieve is so much easier, fast with the one hand. Like this, most of the time you're further than this. You can easily reach the front hand anytime. And just strike the front hand, and that's it. So this is probably not really a combative art, because in the combative, if you're playing with this and you assume there might be a metal tip, maybe even a sharp metal tip on both ends, you would immediately lose an eye, you break the jawbone, or lose a tooth, or whatever, So this is very painful. You would usually always look to keep the guy at a distance, right? Why would you go in there? Because it's either a sport or it's entertainment, right? It's a demonstration of let's say, a theory, like a martial arts theory. So, taking the previous Kihon, you can extend it by a technique. We've done it also. And again, keep in mind there's so many other reasons. I'm just going to show it. So you have this basic movement here, you add tsuki here, you shuffle, you make a gedan block. And also here, there's some that do this. There's some that do this. There are some that do this. There's so many different versions, and you gotta find out what's best for you. Or if you're in an association, if you do an ASOC, right, Association Kobudo, then at least for gradings, and you should stick to it. And if you have to stick for gradings, you should do it all the time in your Kihon as well, because otherwise you make a mistake. And these are the things that the schools are very strict with. You cannot use another school's habit, combative ideas, or basic understanding or what the movement is. You will see this immediately. Actually, sometimes you can tell from the same lineage. You can tell from which dojo the person is, and you cannot mix it, because the sensei, they're all very proud of what they do, and then they get angry when they see you. So you just add the Gilan. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever. Hey, so it's etching. Neat. Sun. Shape. Go. Look. Touch. Touch. Cool. Ju. Wait. Point deduction. Hey, etch. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Shitch. Hutch. Go. Ju. Don't force the ball. Take time for the movement. Of course, you can play the Hannibal, going the fast lane over the Alps. We all know what happened to Hannibal and to Carthago. So take your time. Enjoy the movement. And don't try to force it. This way you can even do it when you have a bad day. You can play soft. You don't have to be that killer monster, faster, faster. Yeah, right? And this way you grind in the movement, the right movement, and all the ankles of the wrist, the fingers, the change of the fingers, the change of the force, the tightness that you use, and the shoulders, the elbows, the coordination between footwork and the movement. You see, just one thing you should note here, for instance, here at this point. You see that? So you facilitate that by using by pulling it back like this, right? This is how you start the movement. And then at some point you notice, oh, here I have strength again in my tiny little arm, and I can use the energy that's come here and put it in the strike somewhere here. And then you pull back and strike forward. Okay, so it's neat. Some shit. Go. Look. Sit. Hutch. Cool. Two. Okay? And if you like, you can do it on the left side. But don't overdo, okay? So take it easy.